Welcome to the Marvels, Mysteries and Midlanders podcast. Prepare to take a dive into all things mythical, eerie and downright strange. Stick around. You might just enjoy yourself. Today, I watched an incredible double bill of films, yeah? I started with Knowing, starring Nicolas Cage. If either of you know, have you seen Knowing?
I can't watch anything with Nicolas Cage.
Why can't you watch anything with Nicolas Cage? Yeah,
The
world's gonna end in 6 days.
I think
found a
the only thing I
code.
can watch him in is National Treasure. That's it, because he
Yeah.
is a national treasure, not from this nation, but a certain nation.
Yeah. So, like, you're not saying a certain nation like you're ashamed to speak about the Americans. As I'm saying this, Adam is pouring himself a nice
Monster and wine.
Monster energy drink and white wine cocktail.
It bangs, man. It bangs.
Also known as Monster Wine.
Lewis has a front row seat to this.
Yeah.
What looks like lemon juice.
It looks like lemonade, like cloudy
Yeah,
lemonade.
it does.
a little bit of
Is it
Chardonnay and
refreshing?
white Monster. Thank you.
Is it refreshing, Lewis asks?
I
I had a sip. It wasn't great.
It does the job.
It does the job. I think the wine would be more refreshing on its own, personally.
Personally, I think the wine's just nice on its own.
Oh, I'm reading the script.
Stop reading the script! Right. Oh, yeah, so anyway, so I was talking about Knowing, starring Nicolas Cage, where basically there's like a big list of numbers that basically precedes all these disasters that in the world. The world basically ends. Are you pouring
I'm
more
topping
wine?
it up, man. It's still
And
Monster.
the other
man.
film I watched was Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
What a strange
What a
combination
strange
of
double
films.
bill. Yeah, I know.
The
I know.
duality of James.
Well, it got me thinking, yeah. What would Harry Potter be like if Nicolas Cage was in it? And who would he be in Harry Potter?
He'd be like some mad professor, wouldn't he?
No, I'm saying replace him as a character. So if he's like several people like,
Mr. Potter, our new celebrity.
our new celebrity.
Tell me, Mr. Potter, what would I get when mixing?
or you could have him as a... What other character?
Imagine him as Hagrid.
Yeah.
Hello, Harry.
Hello. I can't even do like a Hagrid.
Hello, Harry.
He'd just be like mad. He'd be,
Yeah. You got my was Voldemort. Oh, it'd be a great
Nick
Voldemort.
Cage Voldemort.
Yeah, it'd be what? It'd be... Or maybe it'd even go like,
I want to see the lights leave your eyes, Potter.
That's actually good.
Avada Kedavra.
Avada Kedavra. No, he would be he'd be young James Potter.
Oh, yeah. Or Sirius.
Who wants to see me take off Snivelly's
Who
trousers?
wants to see me take off Snivelly's trousers?
And then he just gives like the really sexy.
Hi there. Yeah, I think we nailed it. Well, it could even be Sirius.
Nice one, James.
So yeah. It just got me thinking about what would be a good
You need to like dub a
what,
version of Harry Potter.
No,
and
we
just-
need to, like we discussed
we
years
need-
ago.
oh, okay, yeah.
Me and Adam had this thing where we planned to just redub Harry Potter with just dumb voices, and you know, if we start making some money, guys, we can actually do that for you. We'll put it in the Patreon if we ever get one. Yeah. So anyway, welcome to Marvel's Mysteries and Midlanders. That was a bit of an extended intro for you. What are we doing again? Why are we here? But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. It's finally cooling down, but it's still boiling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay,
Yes.
yeah. It's mid-September, and it's still absolutely boiling. Well, when we recorded this, anyway.
That's global warming for
That's
you.
global warming. I love it. So today, we are descending into the depths of a place in Wales known as Morfa Colliery, which is a mine. But we're going to be discussing it based on its nickname, I call it, called the Pit of Ghosts. Dun-dun-dun.
Pit of Ghosts.
So... Pit of Ghosts, yeah. I wonder what's in there.
Spectral
Ghosts. Lewis, you ever been to Wales? Haunted mines in Wales?
I've been to Wales, but not a haunted mine.
I've been to Wales.
Fair play, fair play. Speaking of Wales, Adam, you're leaving soon to live in Wales for a bit, aren't you?
Yes, not in the Pit of Ghosts. but
Unfortunately.
maybe.
Yeah. Well, the experience goes, bless you, Lewis. So, yeah,
See, I'm a flatmate, so.
Hey! So today we are heading to, in Wales, a place known as Tybac or Tybach, based on the pronunciations I found. Port Talbot in Glamorganshire. Today we are delving into the 19th century mine known as Morfa Colliery. So I will have to tell you guys now, it's going to get spooky. It's going to get spooky. Spooky dooky.
Sure.
I want goose pimples on everyone's arms. I want hen flesh. I want... my throat there. I want hen flesh.
I thought you said hen flesh.
Hen flesh.
Hen?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, hen flesh.
Like little chicken flesh.
Oh, hen, you know, because chicken's flesh is like goose pimply.
I didn't know that.
It's a saying, all right? I swear.
It's a saying.
Hen flesh is real. So, the Morfa pit was known as a gas mine, and a very gassy mine at that, as it will soon become clear. Don't laugh at my gassy jokes.
Gassy mine.
It was opened in 1849 by Vivian and Sons. Vivian and Sons was a Swansea-based chemical company that was started by a Cornish man, John Vivian, in 1800. So this is a bit of a background history for you. Don't get too stressed out, Lewis, on remembering the names, okay? It's just a background of what the mine's about, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Morfa itself was responsible for producing gas, sulphur, and coal, mainly, which was then fed to the nearby copper smelters, also owned by Vivian and Sons.
Well, they've got their fingers in a lot of pies, don't they?
They're titans of industry.
Titans
of industry. What took place at Morfa in 1890 was at the time one of the worst mining disasters in South Wales, because obviously anybody who isn't aware of Wales, mainly from overseas, anyone's not aware of Wales as a country. No, basically they had a lot of mines in Wales, particularly. That was a big industry there. Lewis, you're from a mining town, aren't you? Or ex-mining town?
Yeah.
What town is that?
Give away your location, Lewis. He's crying now. You made him cry. Oh, if only people could see Lewis weeping.
Yeah, there's a lot of coal mines around here.
Yeah. Basically, there's mines all over Britain. Let's just say that. I was way off. But yeah, at the time, it was one of the worst mine disasters in South Wales. But it wasn't the only one. There was a lot of bad things that happened in Morfa Mine before the main disaster. But the biggest disaster now in Wales is actually at Senghenith in 1913, which we will briefly touch on later.
Does it just like collapse or?
No, well, as you'll see, the reasons why it happens, sometimes it can be cave-ins and explosions, because you think about it, there's a lot of chemicals and gases down there.
Because they take the little birdie down, don't they? In the cage?
The canary.
Yeah, that's the one.
When it dies, like, oh,
We should get out of here.
the little canary's died.
Oh,
We're
no.
in trouble.
Bobo's died.
That was already good.
That's a good
Lewis, since we're doing it, you have to do it now. The fear in his eyes. Go on, Lewis. Just do the Welsh
You can
accent.
do
It's
a
not
Virginia
hard.
accent.
Yeah, you did Virginia, Lewis. Very well.
No.
No, I don't think I will.
No. Along with these other disasters, like Senghenith, there was also the Abafan Disaster in 1966, where 144 people died, 116 being children.
Oh my!
Because they covered it in the Crown Series 3. There's an episode, I was watching it, it's like, what's going on? Like, why are we focusing on this mine? And then basically, there was just like a landslide, and it hit a school. It's a gut punch, man. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun, but unfortunately, that's what happened with these mines. You know, there's so many disasters. Like, the main job you can do as well, you've got to do it, either be a hobo or a miner. So we're morbid bastards at Marvel's Mysteries and Midlanders, aren't we?
Ironically, you'll probably live longer as a hobo.
It's true, unless you're in the luckiest mine in the area. Mm-hmm. So let's dive into what went wrong with Morfa Colliery. So before we start focusing on the main disaster, we're going to talk about some previous disasters, because it just kind of leads up to just how dangerous this mine on its own was. Because ultimately, it's got the title of being cursed. And I figured it'd be good to describe.
This isn't the one where children died, was it?
No, this is
Okay.
a purely teenagers to adult men.
Well, that's okay.
Death
then.
ratio.
That's okay.
Not going to do Abafan. I can tell you in description how the children died, you know.
Yes, please do.
Oh, you know, where landslides are suffocating under the dirt, you know, real pleasant. So,
The breaking of the bones from the rocks.
Why am I laughing at this? Any questions so
Brilliant.
far?
It seems like quite a rich person thing to joke about. Yeah. And they all got their arms broken.
113 children died.
Brilliant.
More money into my pocket. Any questions so far?
No.
No, okay, let's get
What year did you say this was?
So this one now, it's a 19th century mine, but we're starting with the 26th of November, 1858.
Oh, okay, that's quite a while ago.
It was yonder.
Right on the sip.
It was the sip. As the miners worked their usual daily shifts in Morfa, an explosion occurred in the lower western level of the Cribber vein, which is a vein running through Morfa. I've put these details in just to describe the mine, but don't feel bad if you don't truly understand. Lewis Carter.
What's the vein? Is it a coal vein or a sulfur vein or?
The mine primarily produced gas, sulfur, and coal, so I'd say it's either a coal vein or a sulfur vein.
Yeah.
An explosion occurred in the lower western level of the Cribber vein, and its effects were entirely confined to that part of the mine. As the workforce mobilised to begin regaining access to the western level, a 4-man team was sent in to deal with it, which makes sense. You do that. They were tasked with creating an airway into that area throughout the night, because obviously over time the gases build up in the area, so you've got to kind of ventilate it. At around 3 p.m, they all went for their hard-earned supper a few tunnels away. Whilst away from the dig site, gas...
What did they have for supper?
Corned beef sandwiches.
Delightful.
Enjoy. Corned beef sandwiches and a full pint of port.
Like a proper drink with no one at work.
When I'm mining, mate, I want my port.
Proper drink when
I have a proper drink when I'm doing my mining.
Your fucking business.
When the men had finished their meal, they made their journey back to the cave-in. Before they could make it anywhere near, the entire tunnel burst into flames. The men were completely... Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing at 4 men being burnt alive?
I was like half listening, and I just imagined just the entire tunnel just spontaneously combusting.
Yeah, that's what happened.
For no reason.
Well, you'll find out the reason, but the 4 men were completely immolated, and another explosion rocked the mine. So they've already had one.
Rocked the mine.
Oh, yeah.
Put on a great fucking show.
Oh, man. It was proven at the following inquest.
It was lit.
Oh, that's
Why?
good. That was good, Lewis.
I'll give you a pass for using that word in this circumstances because it's a quality pun. So, good job, Lewis. It was proved at the following inquest that all the workers in the colliery / mine, whatever you prefer to use, had been supplied with safety lamps. As you know, back in the Victorian days, instead of having lamps, there were candles in the helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, steel candle. That's a
What?
That's a World of Warcraft thing.
I'm not even going to humour your Warcraft speech right now. They were all equipped with safety locks on their safety lamps to prevent the naked flame of the candle from igniting any foreign gases in the air, which makes sense, yeah?
Oh, so it was like one of them little doors.
I guess so, yeah. Keys were found with some of the deceased bodies, so keys for your helmet, yeah? Because that's what you meant to have. And 2 nails tied together were also found in the pocket of another corpse. Now this was used to jimmy open the lamp lock.
Oh, yeah.
It's essentially like a lockpick for your mining helmet. Further investigation found that the 4 lamps were unlocked and the top was off of one of them, meaning the gas would have ignited from one of the... What are you laughing at?
I'm not laughing, I need to burp.
Oh, you can cut it out, it's okay.
I did it silently.
Further investigation found that the 4 lamps on the helmets were unlocked, and that the top of one of them was completely off, meaning the gas would have been ignited from that. The mine had a system where it was divided into districts, allowing each district to have a separate current of air, with as few doors as possible. So they wanted, based on what I've read, they wanted like a continuous kind of airway system going on, which makes sense if you got dangerous gases.
I think if I was in a mine, I'd like some nice air coming
I'd like
through.
a breeze.
Or just some nice oxygen to breathe, in general.
Oxygen?
Yes.
Is that the word you're using for it now?
Oh, what the fuck did I call it last time?
Breathe juice!
Breathe juice,
There we go.
yes. I want some premium
Reject
breathe
oxygen, embrace breathe juice.
That's going to be a t-shirt one day.
Yeah, if you guys like us enough. Apparently, Morpha's arrangement of the mine itself with the air tunnel and the discipline for it is one of the best in the area, according to the supervisor. That's exactly what a supervisor would say.
I think that this airflow system is actually the best in the area.
It's like sucking himself up, isn't he? Like, this is a quality air system right now.
So obviously it wasn't, because there was 2 explosions on that one day. Back to the lamps. So I got a lot of good information for this story overall.
Wait, so all four people that died,
yes,
had their lamp thingies unlocked.
Yes, but one of them was unlocked and slightly open.
Right.
The type was off, which means the
So
gas
it
got
was
into
his.
that. Yeah, so we don't know who the guy was. We know the names of the people, which I'll get to. We don't know who exactly it was. But basically, yeah, so the doors were unlocked, but they were still closed.
Mm-hmm.
But this one person was unlocked and ajar. So the gas just hit that. Whole tunnel gone.
It's like a really strange suicide bomber.
I mean,
Fuck you all.
I don't think the way I read into it is it's more a case of it was just accidental. Like he'd tampered with it. He hadn't closed it properly. Why would you blow up a hallway of a mine?
And yeah, but like, how fucking stupid can you be?
People are stupid.
I think.
We're stupid.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna mess
Yeah.
around with
You
it.
messed with my candle.
Oh, Jimmy, no, stop it! Wait.
Stop it, Alan.
Darren, stop it! Stop being a fucking prick.
Oh, mate, you're going to fit right in Wales, man.
I'm
You
going
got
to
it
pick up a
down.
twang.
You got it down, yeah.
Hello, James. I'm back for a podcast. I went a bit Scottish there as well.
didn't back to the podcast, man. So a lot of information I got in terms of the actual disasters themselves came from the Durham Minor Museum website. So shout out to them because they've got some quality records on there. Absolute quality.
Top notch.
But yeah, from the inquest, they said if miners are determined to unlock and tamper with their lamps on their helmets, it will be impossible to carry them down into a deep mine safely. As a rule in the district, where explosions occur, they may be traced to a generally bad and defected system of ventilation. So the supervisor was just chatting shit. But in this case, it was not so. It is to be hoped that mines generally will benefit by seeing in such a sad and deplorable loss of life the inevitable results of their own imprudence.
That is a lot of words.
Yeah, basically, they were being dicks, they weren't being professional, and they paid for it.
So it really was Jimmy.
Probably, yeah. So the people who passed away, the four men, were Aaron Charton, 38, Isaac Griffiths, 25, David Hughes, 35, and William Williams, 24. It's an unfortunate name.
I quite like it.
William Williams.
The name's Williams. William Williams.
Williams. Griffiths and Williams themselves are actually brothers-in-law as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, still brothers-in-law.
It's kind of beautiful in a way.
Yeah, it's very poetic, yeah.
Brothers-in-law, brothers in death.
Yeah, I guess so. This is going off the rails very quickly. We haven't got to the curses bit yet.
Yeah, why is it cursed?
Oh, I'll get to it. Well, if you let me speak, you'll find out. But you wouldn't believe the kind of deaths that happen in mines. Falling down chasms, cave-ins, getting run over by machinery, getting entangled in machinery, jumping out of the elevators too soon. It goes on and on. There's just a list of all people died. Getting entangled in machinery has got to be one of the worst ways to die.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
I feel like if you are stupid enough to get entangled into machines, that's natural selection, isn't
Accidents happen, man.
it? Yeah, but...
All right. Fine.
Fucking idiot.
Mr. Darwinism over here.
Sorry, Darwin.
Now,
Charles.
So, Charles. Now, we move on to the 17th of October, 1863, where we don't have an exact report of what happened, but we do know what caused it. So what we do know is that yet again, a safety lamp triggered the ignition of gas, a gas known as fire damp. Now, fire damp itself is a particular coal bed gas that usually consists of methane.
Like, fart.
Oh, look out, I'm going to lay a nice nasty fire damp down. Fire damp is...
William, get a whiff for this.
This is hilarious. Men died. Ha ha ha. The ensuing
Death. Ha
The ensuing explosion, thanks to those safety lamps that really don't seem safe, killed another 40 people on that day.
I'm not laughing because they
40?
died.
40 this time, yeah.
Wow. What was it first time?
4.
That's-
But weren't the people that they went to
There were
save?
there were separate accidents of people dying as well, but this was like a mass death.
That's a 1,000% increase.
Yes. So we've had one occasionally death of someone getting tangled up. Lewis doesn't look too convinced by
Is
this,
it, Lewis? Is it a 1,000?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Mathematicians over it. So yeah, so you've had the odd death, then 4 from the explosion, and then what?
The odd death.
The odd death.
Just a couple.
Just a few, here and there.
A few anomalies
Yeah.
in the system.
So
And
we
then you've just...
went from 4 to 4, and now we're moving forward to Valentine's Day, 1870. And for those of you who aren't aware, that's February the 14th. Yet another disaster occurred. This one was caused by a naked flame being triggered somewhere in the mine, resulting in another massive explosion, fire damp being the cause yet again, and a further 30 lives were claimed that day.
That's strangely ironic, isn't it? A naked flame on Valentine's Day.
Is it ironic?
I mean, Valentine's Day is
Is it?
about love and then sex. Hence the irony.
Okay, so you're making a joke that things got hot in there, hot and heavy, but there's no
Yeah,
sex
I didn't even
had.
think about the hot and heavy thing because obviously explosions are going to be quite, at least reasonably warm.
Hey,
Or maybe
that
unreasonably
explosion's
warm.
actually quite cold, William. Yeah. So now we come to the main disaster. The main one that kind
The
of...
big daddy.
The big one, yeah.
The big fucking daddy of disasters.
Yeah, the big daddy Morfa disaster on the 10th of March 1890. So there's actually quite a few...
quite a gap
There's a
between
big gap,
there,
It's
yeah.
not like a consistent thing, but it doesn't have to be. Because
They had a few years of good
That's
mining.
when, I mean, people died in those 20 years in between.
Yeah, fuck them though. This isn't recorded.
Yeah.
If it's not recorded, it didn't happen.
Yeah, you hear it here first, guys. Anyone who died in between the two disasters did not matter. This one was caused by a naked flame being triggered somewhere in the mine, resulting in yet another massive
Why
explosion.
was there a naked flame in the mine?
I don't know.
Is
Again,
it-
it's down to incompetence. Listen, yeah.
I'm just asking questions,
No,
James.
it's down to people's incompetence because people are letting flames. Or it's just accidents. You know when you know what? You know when you do something, you're just not thinking, yeah, and you regret it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm okay. I'm willing to believe in humans making mistakes, but
Yeah.
in a high risk environment
Did they know about like science back in those
in the
days?
18th, 19th century,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they worked in a mine. They're
It's
well
not
aware of
exactly
what.
caveman.
Why do these explosions keep happening?
Gas and oxygen and fire.
It's nasty.
Why does
business,
it keep happening?
So yeah, in the early hours of the 10th of March 1890, around 250 men descended into the mine to begin their day's work.
They're
Only a
fucked.
third of that number would resurface alive. Yes, Adam.
Wait,
they
I
were.
can do this. No, I can't do that maths.
Okay.
Okay.
Ain't got time for maths, boy. Around midday, some of the miners climbed back to the mouth of the pit for their mid-shift meals, consisting of corned beef sandwiches and pork, apparently.
Quality. Really.
This meal is quality. All of a sudden, there was an explosion that tore through the mine, followed by a great cough from the earth itself of dust and smoke. While
What
those
did that
close...
sound like?
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I wonder if any of them smoke down there.
Yeah, that's what it was caused by. Just the guy just like...
I'm gasping.
I'm not put for about 4 hours now. Doesn't matter if I'm knee deep in sulphur.
William, it's not gonna fucking explode.
While those closest to the surface managed to crawl back above ground, the explosion caused a series of falls or cave-ins, leading to a further 150 men being trapped. If the workers weren't killed by the explosion, they would fall to suffocation or be crushed from the ensuing cave-ins.
I'm not laughing because they died. It's just like relentless. The death is relentless.
It is ridiculous. It's just
And
like,
it's almost becoming a joke. Like,
give me a break.
fucking hell.
Yeah. From
You
the
can
top-
imagine what I'm like at funerals.
I'm just laughing. I'm not laughing that he's dead.
Had a wonderful life. Ian Williams had a wonderful life. Oh, fuck, he did.
A news excerpt from the time, an eyewitness account from Samuel Jones. He said,
I'm going to apologise to all the Welsh
"Yeah,
fans
what?
out there.
Yeah, we're going to both try this together. If we start to fall,
I was coming up the deep about 12:30 today. I fucked it already. I'm so sorry, everyone. When near number 4, a sudden rush of air passed my companions and myself and threw 3 of us aside.
the dust was very thick.
Yeah, just fucking go straight there.
You just went straight to English, mate. We gotta make this realistic.
Okay.
The sulphur was so strong that we held our handkerchiefs to our faces.
Fucking hell.
We saw several men lying down. We were unable to assist them in consequence of our weak state, caused by the overpowering fumes of sulphur. When about 40 yards from the bottom of the pit, we encountered a heavy fall, but 4 of us managed to extricate ourselves by going under it. A large, small cavity, which we succeeded in enlarging, and through which we escaped.
Nothing like enlarging a cavity.
Men are all about enlarging those cavities. That one in my tooth really hurts right now. So yeah, basically they tried their best to get through the mine and just dig themselves out, but they still couldn't rescue anyone. Mm-hmm. Again, apologies for any offensive Welsh accents. It's just a joke, guys! Soon after the disaster, the rescue attempts began. Despite the nightmarish urgency, the workers had to move through incredibly slowly to avoid any hidden falls waiting to happen. As they moved through, they began to discover people beneath the rubble. As they slowly gained access to certain tunnels, some of the trapped miners managed to make their way from further in the mine, on their hands and knees, having to crawl over the bodies of workmates and friends who didn't make it. So that's pretty grim.
Yeah, I didn't find that funny.
Good. I'm glad you didn't find it funny. You can joke about all the ghost stuff. Don't worry. This is all the hard hitting real stuff. You know.
Yeah, you can joke about the stuff that isn't real, but
no, you can still joke. Listen, yeah. If you, why do I do all this research if you're just gonna instantly just?
Yeah, but half the time we get to the end of it, and it's like it's just rumors. It's just folklore.
It's just stories. You haven't noticed that's what the podcast's about. It's not called Marvel's Mysteries and Truthers, is it? Oh, that was terrible. But
maybe
you know,
we should do a spin-off.
A spin-off, yeah. We're gonna crush some myths. Yeah, let's do that. Later on the same day, Isaac Evans volunteered to descend into the pit at 9:30 p.m. that evening to try and rescue more people. Whilst navigating the absolute destruction below him, it took nearly 10 hours to get through the first cave-in, where he came across the bodies of 5 men, a horse, and a young boy. So what's a young boy doing in the mine?
What the fuck's a horse doing in there?
Oh, they use horses to pull like carriages and stuff because these were big mines. This wasn't like just tiny tunnels. These were like widespread mine. Yeah, it's like Barradur, mate. Bridge of Barradur, yeah. So Moria is an impressive mine, mate.
Yeah.
Morpha wishes it was Moria.
Call it a mine.
A mine!
I imagine like being I know they were like quite burly, solid men back then, but crawling back into the mine just to witness like corpses and suffering, fuck me.
Mess you up. Some form of PTSD for sure. At the same time, a vigil was being held in the local areas with the families of the dead entrapped, waiting and hoping at the entrance to the Morfa mine. A week later, the mine was still in state from the explosion, but this time the pit caught fire somehow, potentially from another buildup of gas seeping into the mine. There were still 43 men unaccounted for at this point, and 18 horses trapped in a stable about 800 meters away from the entrance. However, with the fire rising and the smoke billowing out of the pit... What?
That's a Bane quote, isn't it?
What?
The fire rises.
Yes, the fire rises.
Impeccable film knowledge there again.
Yeah, good job. Well done.
Clutch.
I did say with the fire rising, not rises, but, you know, fair play.
Why?
What?
Why do you have to nitpick like
that?
I'll
go with Bane. I can do Bane voices all day, mate.
I'll do
Bane.
The fire rises.
Oh, so you come back to die with your city.
There you go. Is that good enough for you?
Yeah, but like in the context of people dying in mines, it's probably not appropriate.
Fine. Yeah.
Gotham will endure.
There you go. Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Cool.
The miners won't, though. They're dead.
God's sake. Thank God this happened over hundreds of years ago, otherwise I'd be...
Can I just say, I have made a perfect concoction of that monster and wine.
Well done, man.
Thank you.
Well done.
Anyway.
So there was 43 men unaccounted for at this point, 18 horses trapped in a stable underground 800 meters away from the entrance to the mine. However, with the fire rising and the smoke billowing out of the pit, there was no other choice than to flood the mine. 1 or 2 of the miners volunteered to descend back into the mine to rescue the animals, but Mr. Vivian, the owner, who I mentioned earlier...
How the fuck are they going to rescue the horses?
Just try and, mine through it, just to create a safe passage, just to
bring
drag them through. Yeah.
I already imagine, like, the mine is completely, like, submerged in water, and they're just trying to, like...
swim. Come on, come through! Yeah.
Come on. I tried to think of a name for a horse. What's fucking Sam's
Black
horse
Beauty?
called?
Oh, Bill the pony.
Bill, yeah. Come on, Bill.
Unfortunately, though, Mr. Vivian turned around and said no one could go into the mine. He wouldn't give his consent, stating that the death toll was already far too great. Even if the animals escaped drowning, they would inevitably be starved to death.
If you were the owner...
Mr. Vivian.
Yes, Mr. Vivian. What would you do? Would you?
I wouldn't take responsibility for them going into the mine, but I'd say
if you want to go in.
Yeah, but I'm not. I wouldn't want to. I'd love to be like, yeah, go and do it. But then you'd have something bad was to happen. You'd have the guilt saying, I sent them back in. But it's a tough call to make as well.
What would you do, Lewis?
I wouldn't send them down there. Because I think because it was after they flooded it, wasn't it? So what the chances
Well,
of stuff being
they knew
alive?
people were trapped down there. They could hear them, and they knew the animals were in there as well. Because you could still hear in the mine, despite the cave-ins, you can still hear people.
Oh, that's gotta
through
be
the,
horrible.
That's the horrible
That's gotta
thing.
be
Yeah,
morbid.
yeah.
Well, it's quite similar to like going back
yeah,
into a
yeah,
burning
yeah.
building to try and save.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's very similar. It's just a different environment, really,
Hmm.
but it's the same principle. So the pit ponies and all 43 men were left to their fate, and for 4 years after the disaster, bodies were still being found. The mine itself continued operating until its closure in 1913. So that is the end of the real-life, true disasters at Morfa Colliery. So, to begin our descent into the cursed nature of Morfa, we must discuss the superstitious nature surrounding coal mining communities. If you're a miner,
They're quite superstitious, aren't they?
they are and very superstitious.
Wasn't-
Any of you guys know about them?
Wasn't there cases of people would deny like the science of why the canaries would die, and they'd think it was like evil spirits that killed them, something like that.
I'm not particularly familiar because there's a thing called knockers which comes
Knockers?
up. Don't laugh, for God's sake.
Knockers?
Yes, and I'll get into
Do
what they
tell
are.
me more about
But maybe
knockers.
there's evil knockers that
Did
kill
Ben
the
and
bird.
Jerry's do a promotion about them by any chance?
Ben and Jerry's knockers.
Ben and Jerry's, yeah, because of the
Evil knockers.
well, they
Evil
wanted to use
knockers.
human milk, didn't they? In the other episode.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about Big Mommy Mama.
Ben and Jerry's Knockers milk. Get it now, half price.
I have it here.
What, you have some Ben and Jerry's Knockers?
You know, I've got the picture here.
That's what I remember. That what reminded me.
Yeah, hot. Ben and Jerry's hot chick titty milk bonanza ice cream, made from your hot chick titty milk.
By WTF fun facts, by the way.
WTF fact 1,278. No, it's 12,000.
You can't read numbers.
No, I can't. Not today. So yeah, do you guys know of any community mining superstitions outside
I
of
don't-
knockers killing birds?
I don't follow the subreddit.
Call yourself a mining town
I'm
kid.
not familiar
What
with
a
it.
faker.
No, you're such a poser.
Yeah, well,
So, working in near darkness and being at constant risk is more than enough for any group of people to begin to believe the mundane holds greater significance to our fate. And I get that. If I was in dark all day, I'd be freaking out.
Yeah.
You know,
That's like a you get seasonal defective. Just I can't say-
sad. Seasonal affection
affective-
disease.
Oh, no, is it seasonal? I can't- Seasonal affective disorder. Is that?
Is
it?
that yeah, sure. It's
Yeah.
when you're not getting enough sunlight and it
Yeah,
starts
yeah.
making you sad. It was unlucky to be late for your shift or to forget something and then return home to collect it. So, you know, if you forgot it, you just go. If you forgot your corned beef and pork, you just go
Sorry,
to the
lads, I
mine.
can't go to work today. I forgot my lunch.
I forgot
And that's
me,
bad
I
luck.
forgot me corned beef. If a miner was on his way home from work and met somebody with a squint in their eye, or a rabbit or bird crossed his path, he would go home for the day. Imagine
So he'd go to work.
on his way to work, and then if you saw a man with squinty eyes, or a rabbit or bird across his path, he'd turn around and go home.
Imagine if I went to work and just like
Bah!
I can't even say that. There's a man with no, you can't even say that, can you?
There's a man with squinty eyes.
Jesus Christ, Jay.
What? That's what it.
Imagine phoning your boss being like, I'm sorry, I saw a man with squinty eyes. I can't come in today.
No worries then, mate. I understand completely.
Oh fuck, sorry, Adam. I'm so sorry that happened.
Yeah, but what if you just walked about squinting your eyes constantly like that?
What, just as like what did you do today, James? Oh, I made 50 people call in sick to work. Just by going squinting my eyes at them.
you could have, if you was like a rival miner, just employ somebody.
The squinting man on the side of the road, just like
It's like a strange game of stuck in the mud.
it is. Yeah, it is. Wait, what do you mean?
Well,
I said it is. I agree, but I don't know what you're talking
If you
about.
go to like a rival miner's, you know, I don't know, break room and just squint at them, they all have to go home, don't they?
No, they're already at work. You gotta get them on the way to work.
Oh, okay. So if you just intercept them
So
on
if-
the way to work,
Yeah, basically. Whenever somebody in a miner's family had dreamt of death, an accident, or even broken shoes, this would usually result in the miner being forced to stay home by his family the following day.
are you superstitious?
I am in a way, yeah, for sure. I have this one thing where if I have something developing in my life, like that could be like good for me, like something good. Like say if I do an audition for something or I've applied for something I really want
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like there's a chance of getting it, I won't mention it until I get it.
Oh, is that like a,
So like
like a jinx kind of thing?
in a way, I'm like if I tell someone, it'll jinx it.
yeah.
I don't know why I've developed it, but
I
it's
think
a
there is
strange-
some like realism to it, I guess, because I think it's psychological, isn't it?
Mhm.
Because
if I tell the wrong person who's got like bad juju for me, they could then
but you like
taint it.
Yeah, I think I hate to use the word subconsciously because I feel like it's a bit of a cop out.
Okay.
But
Well, nice job copying out, man.
subconsciously, you will kind of sabotage yourself.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about
Fair
that.
enough. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, though. That's
Yeah.
how I feel, yeah. In South Wales, where Morfa is, many miners refuse to start new work in a mine on a Friday. Miners in Monmouthshire would complain of having the old black dog on their backs, an evil spirit that caused illnesses and accidents. So the old black dog term has been used for depression, hasn't it?
I've never heard
It
it
is
before.
used, yeah, I've heard the term, the black dog used.
I've got the black dog on my back.
depression. Yeah.
I'm feeling a bit sad today.
Yeah.
That may be a discredit to depression. I'm so sorry.
Drinking too much wine, mate. It's just
Depression.
Yeah. But yeah, the old black dog, or the black dog, has been used as a term for depression.
I've never
I'm
heard
not
it
mad
before.
on it myself, personally.
Black dogs are cute though.
Exactly.
I mean, all dogs are cute.
it's
Really.
a discredit to dogs.
Fucking dogs.
Always causing depression. Good Friday was also another day for any hard-working pitman to not lift a single tool. Along with these, the sighting of a robin, pigeon, or dove flying around the pit was thought to be foretelling of disaster.
What a lazy bastards.
I know, they're
back then,
just
weren't they?
everything.
Any excuse.
Oh, Brian just coughed. We gotta go home.
I have a friend called Lewis. I can't come in today, boss.
And you better believe miners refused to work if any of these birds were seen near the mines. Honestly, they wouldn't. They're apparently known or called corpse birds, and apparently was seen before the explosion at Sengenith mine on the 14th of October 1913, which I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Remember when I mentioned it? Yeah?
Yep.
A total of 440 people died in the explosion.
Shit, bird bears.
Yeah, again caused by fire damp, or possibly one or two explosions which tore through it.
What was fire damp?
It was a gas that come from coal. It was a coal-based gas.
Oh.
I did mention it earlier, but obviously you weren't listening.
Little side swipe there, James. That's fine. If that makes you feel better.
It does. I'm a big man. But yeah, the explosion. That explosion was the worst mining catastrophe in the UK so far.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
440.
440 people died. Yeah. Going deeper into the mines, superstition was everywhere too. Whistling was strictly prohibited, as was the word cat. A positive twist to the superstition.
The word was
cat.
prohibited.
Yeah. Cat. Stop it!
What the fuck are you doing, William? Saying shit like that. You get us killed.
Stop it!
Fucking mouth.
A positive twist to the superstition is that some miners actually believed in invisible spirits called knockers, who would make tapping noises to point the way to rich veins of ore. So,
I mean,
That's
it
nice
is
of
nice.
them.
Ones. That's why they're called knockers, because they've got giant titties, because they're just knocking noises to, help you out.
So basically, you just had to follow the knockers.
Follow the knockers, Lewis. Morfa Mine began to build a ghostly reputation way before the disaster of 1890, earning it the nickname the Pit of Ghosts. There it is, guys. Title card for you. One particular apparition was sighted in the mine, but also around the coalfield district. This became known as the Red Dog of Morpher, or the Red Dogs of Morpher.
Why are they red?
Well, these blood-red hounds would be seen charging throughout the tunnels, barking and howling before disappearing completely. I mean, I don't know if you believe in it, guys, but it sounds like an omen to me. An omen of
Do you
death.
reckon they hallucinated at all? Or...
What do you think all the sulfur gases
Yeah,
get
yeah,
into?
yeah.
And they're like, oh!
Yeah.
Lewis, you can always be the Mr. Logical, but has it been proven that you can
Are ghosts
hallucinate?
real, Lewis?
Oh, don't ask him, mate.
I don't think ghosts are real because I've never seen one.
That's what I get.
Just a little.
That's what I was about to say.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Well, yeah, got rid of that situation. Another phenomena that began to drift through the mine was the smell of a sweet rose-like perfume inside the lower tunnels. Others described it as a sickly sweet smell. This smell was meant to emanate from an invisible form of flora called death flowers. It's also possible, though, that it could be the smell of decaying bodies. Because they do say that the smell of death is sweet at times, like a sickly sweet smell.
Mm.
So that's got two meanings. One that creeps me out the most out of all of it is that miners could occasionally hear like echoed sounds of people crying at the bottom of the mine, and the sounds of like falling earth and stuff.
I don't
Okay,
like that.
it sends. Saying it now, I'm getting goosebumps. I mean, Not massively, but it's going up my back. I'm getting spine chill.
Spine chill.
I'm getting a case of the spine chill, yeah. Because imagine, just close your eyes for a second. Yeah.
I've
And ima-
closed them.
And imagine you're in a dark mine.
Mm-hmm.
You're working away.
Clink, clink.
Clink. And then you hear it.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
It's not nice. It's not nice at all. It's chilling.
So you cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finds out it's just William just crying.
You
William,
stood down there.
Stop fucking crying, William.
Other phenomena included our first mention of the Welsh ghost lights known as corpse candles. Now, these foreboding lights would often flicker a yellow or blue hue and slowly drift around wherever they pleased, really.
Why do they have really morbid names? They have like death flower,
It's because
corpse.
They think
light.
it's like an omen of death. It's an omen of death. You know, so they
That
think...
could be anywhere.
On one occasion, a miner caught sight of this brilliant light, and a couple of hours later his leg was crushed by a falling stone. This fate also befell another miner who heard someone calling his name urgently, taking no notice, and his leg was also broken. What?
Lewis's head just popped straight up after that one. Coming.
Are you falling asleep, Lewis?
No, he was
No.
surprised by the last thing you said.
What, getting his leg crushed?
Yeah, but I see in the
Yeah.
light. So he saw a light, and then a couple of hours
Yeah, he
later,
didn't notice
his
the
leg
falling
was
rubble.
meant to get crushed.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
What's that light?
And the other guy, his leg were crushed because somebody.
He
said
heard
his name.
someone calling his name urgently, and he took no notice to the person shouting, and his leg got broken as well.
Okay.
Was he
So
shouting?
That was just a matter of rudeness.
But their partners, the mining partners, had not witnessed any of the lights, and they remained unhurt. Oh.
Yeah, but from that example, only one of them saw the light.
I know, yeah, that is true. But for some reason, because he ignored the person who'd seen the light, he had his leg crushed. The thing is with corpse candles, they also warn of impending death of whoever's home they float near. So it's like an omen, basically.
You know, there's a lot of just
A lot of it.
shit that goes on.
In Wales.
I mean, just
Have
in
fun.
general, in the spirit world.
There is, man.
There's no like positive stuff, is there? It's all shit.
Knockers are alright.
Yeah, knockers do. Knockers are the good guys. A couple of good knockers.
Always take care of
Good fortune to you, friend.
you. Exactly. Because corpse candles also warn of impending death, whoever's homes they float nearby. They would also float alongside the road by which a funeral would be passing. So the funeral would pass and there'd be corpse candles waiting there. And you know what? They'd also hover over the place where a future grave would be dug. Or people just like, you know what, let's dig there because that thing was there. Maybe it's a...
What do you think, James? Do you believe that?
I do.
I hate to be Mr. Logical.
No.
right?
No.
And I'm sure Lewis would kind of like say the same, but I just think I feel like anything death related, there's going to be some kind of like
It's because it's
strange lights.
It's one of the biggest mysteries in being a person alive. Everyone wonders what comes next. So they assume or create these stories or this phenomena to make you believe that there is something else next. Because if you turn around and go, there's nothing, it's just emptiness, just dark emptiness, it's terrifying. You don't want to think about that, whether you're logical or not. And if you do think that way, fair play. But the thought of there being lights of a soul, whether it's impending death or not, just shows that if there's bad spiritual things in the world, then there's got to be good spiritual things as well afterwards.
But why do you never hear about the good spiritual things? Like,
Because
the good-
people like scare. Oh, no, that's not true though. It's not true. There are good stories, like because when my granddad passed away recently, the night of it, when my family come home, my nan, a light literally. I think my aunt and my nan said a light flew into the window, into the bedroom, went to where he slept, and then disappeared. I'm not talking like a street light or a car light. It was like a small wisp in the night. So there's these little things, yeah, you can tell and go, oh, it's this and that. Maybe it was, but it's it's a nice way of thinking there is something else or that they're okay. Because once they're gone, you don't know where they are. You say your goodbyes and that's it. But knowing or feeling that there is something else after, and knowing that people you care about are okay, like having dreams about someone who's died, it's comforting because, you miss them, but you think they're in a better place. And if you turn around and go, oh no, it's just emptiness, cold darkness, it's not really reassuring, and that could be the truth. But while I'm alive, I'd like to think that there is something more.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts on that is that, when they say emptiness,
Let me just stop you there, James.
You just
Lovely sentiment. But let me just derail your whole
I just
conversation.
think it's like going to sleep.
Yeah.
You don't know here or there.
Oh.
So I don't think it would be like a lonely,
Oh.
dark place. I think you wouldn't know.
No, I agree. Yeah.
You won't be conscious in the...
But it's more, where does the conscious go? Does it just go out and you fall asleep and it's gone? Or, what is it? Is it just one eternal sleep? Or is it just, is it...
That's what
yeah.
I think, yeah.
I think that, because at one point I had this really stupid, I say stupid, I had a stupid theory that heaven was just an eternal good dream that your conscience gives to you, and hell is just an eternal nightmare your conscience ends up trapped in. I mean, it's probably the worst theory ever, but at one point I considered it. But whatever.
I mean, people would argue that the body is a vessel, like the mind is a vessel as well. And then, you strip everything back, you have like your quote-unquote soul.
Yeah.
And then that gets passed on, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
I say blah, blah, blah.
Respectfully.
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 Yeah. But I think I refuse to believe that once you're dead, you're dead. Like nothing happens. Like you said, it's a terrifying thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think there is a worse fate to just be trapped in just
exactly, yeah.
nothingness.
But I think people also take advantage of that belief. It's like you have these quote unquote hack clairvoyants, because I believe people have the ability, but there's people who take advantage of people's loss. They learn information and they upset them by saying, "Oh, he's here, he's talking." And also, there's people who, take advantage of the belief system in general. Like it happens so much, like part of religion. A massive part of it is following it and hoping for a spot in heaven when it's all over.
Without kind of to not go off topic.
Of course.
What if, let's say I throw out a statement, religion is hack clairvoyance. Let's say something like that, right?
Yeah.
And what if someone, like you just said, someone's trying to not necessarily exploit someone that's grieving, but what if that actually helped them more than a conventional state of grief? So like a clairvoyant, or quote unquote hack clairvoyant, spoke to someone and they had the information, let's say inside information, and let's say the person who passed away is called Mary, and they said Mary's with us now, and they started like saying loads of facts, and the faith that they existed in the afterlife, they are there as a spirit, actually helped them in life cope with the death.
Yeah.
Is that still okay because it is quote unquote, not truth?
It's like a beautiful lie, isn't it, in a way?
Yeah.
Because I understand, I respect that.
Is that like the right thing to do? Or
well, that's the thing, is it's because it's comforting, isn't it? Because people like to have a thing to believe in, and if that belief system allows them to feel,
which is why I say, is that not religion?
It help them coping better. I understand.
Religion, that is just
it's more
whatever you choose to believe in.
Yeah, it depends on what comes with that belief system in itself. You know, it could just be a nice conversation with someone.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean. It's what bothers me about religion is when it takes advantage of people. That's you know. I'm not anti-religion at all. I do have harsh words about it because I've heard such nasty stories about it. But at the same time, people have been completely lost, and their lives have been completely just in the pits, and the found religion, it's pulled them back out. And I can't turn around and go, "Oh, you should have just done something else," because it's the path you take, isn't it?
Yeah. Nice little segue there.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Back to corpse candles. And it's also another family story. It's only short, but my nan's sister's husband, Alec, who was born in Kidwelly, southwest Wales. When he was a child, he was out and about doing his thing, when all of a sudden he came across a funeral procession making its way up a road towards the local church. As he watched from a slight distance away, he noticed a flickering light following the hearse's path across a field. Upon further inspection of it, it was actually making a buzzing hum noise. And as it moved, the grass in front of it physically parted to make way for the light. And that's the story.
That was a corpse light.
Yeah, that was a corpse candle. Now, back to Morfa Mine. Ghosts of various miners were seen around the tunnels, some just watching, others walking, some even working again, which would be a pretty bad way to spend your afterlife, wouldn't it? Just working again.
Yeah, imagine still being
on a
wage
till,
slave.
Slave to the wage. I am a slave to the wage, but not as much. I don't know. No,
Yeah,
I am. There's also the time a man dressed in oilskins, which were like baggy leather macks to wear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like a baggy leather mac. And wearing a leather cap. One day he appeared on the elevator cage amongst a bunch of ready and raring miners and then dismounted on a floor which didn't exist. He just went...
Oh, we just fell through.
We just went through.
Neat little party trick.
Yeah, it was. That was cool.
That was cool.
Did the lifts not stop then?
No, the lift was still going. He just got off mid-air. Cool guy. That was like translate. Cool guy.
Cool guy.
There were also sightings of ghost carriages being pulled by white horses, which made a massive racket only to disappear. There is also another tale of a man who was making a tram journey underground and after riding some distance, jumped off and melted away into the darkness of the mine, just like the guy in the lift as well. And this man was actually recognised as a soul who had died in the mine long ago. Strange noises of ghostly trams running wild in the pit were also heard, and to top it off, swarms of ghost rats.
So there can be... Oh, that's interesting. So you have like ghost animals and ghost humans as well.
Yeah, and ghost carriages as well. Ghost everything.
Ghost...
No about carriages, but yeah, there was ghost horses. You saying that wood doesn't have a soul, mate?
Wood doesn't have a soul, no.
No, I don't personally believe that, like, these paranormal encounters are responsible for the disasters in the mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I think it's a natural cause, but I do believe that the fact that these experiences became more severe in the lead up to the events certainly makes me think that there was some kind of curse happening in the mine. Because preceding every single disaster, the 4 men, the 40, the 30, the 250...
440.
440. No, that was saying getting. But I do feel like there is some sort of omen or curse considering the activity in the mine got a lot heavier just before disasters happened. There's just too many omens for this guy. Too much bad luck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And of course, at the time, the local papers also had to have their say, usually from a skeptical point of view. The Evening Standard at the time said that mines are too modern to be haunted. A haunted mine is as ridiculous as a haunted train station.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Imagine something being too modern to be cursed.
Yeah. Just built this house, mate. Can't be haunted, mate.
That's almost saying like you're too young to be a dickhead or something.
Yeah,
You're too young to you know.
I have met plenty of children.
Children dickheads.
Yeah, basically. I remember once at Aldi, the kid was like, he was smashing something up. I said no, so he punched me in the leg, and I was like, "What are you doing?" I actually went, "Oh, yeah, he got me." And then his parents were like, "Oh, don't do that, Alfie. Don't do that." It was such drips.
And that's the story of how James fought off a child.
That's the story how I choke slammed a 3-year-old. Yeah. Another local gossip column claimed the workers' beliefs were absurd, blaming all the deep echoes and noises on the sea. It goes on to mention a certain miner who refused to work for 3 weeks leading up to the 1819 disaster, who said he heard similar noises before when the 1870 explosion occurred, and was adamant another disaster wasn't far off.
That's like PTSD, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way I'd say it was, but he was kind of right at the same time.
Yeah. Because if he heard something that, you know, then preceded an explosion, then he's going to have the same feelings. And he's like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah, it's true. So now we're going to round up our discussion on Morfa Mine and the curses, yeah? We're going to move to Christmas 1895. Merry Crimbo, everyone. You look like you're trying to think about what you did that year. You weren't born, Adam.
I mean, you don't know that.
That's true, actually. I barely know you, really, do I? On Christmas 1895, hundreds of employees stopped working and downed their tools, refusing to work following strange activity. 3 days later, the men returned, with their nerves in a bit of a mess due to the tension. But what drove them to leave? 3 days earlier, 2 men were sitting side by side in the darkness amongst old workings. Out in the inky void that surrounded them came a procession of piercing wails. Imagine an entire choir of banshees in the dark.
That was elongated, wasn't it?
I was really trying to hit a high note.
What was that word? Inky void.
Inky void. Darkness.
Inky
like
void.
an inky void.
I thought
yeah.
you just made up a fucking beautiful word, like inky void or something.
Inky void.
I was like, wow.
I am a wordsmith.
I have not heard that before.
We should create a word. Who says Shakespeare
The
gets
inky
all the
void.
Inky void. The 2 men scarpered as fast as they can, notifying every single person as they went, "Get the hell out! Get the..." Yeah, just running crazy.
It sounded like...
I'm not sure what it sounded like.
I didn't.
Get the hell out!
Get the hell out, man! Come on!
Following the investigation, whilst the men were above the surface for 3 days, another omen was made clear. A single dove was found at the mouth of the pit. The funny thing is that the initial cries that caused the mass evacuation weren't just heard by the miners, they were also heard by a local gamekeeper, completely unrelated to the mine at all. Across the glen where he worked, he heard the sound of just wails, dirges blowing on the wind at the exact same time as the miners did.
Could have been sky trumpets.
It could have been sky trumpets, 19th century sky trumpets. I mean, overall, There's a lot of bad juju with that mine, from the sounds of it.
Yeah.
But would you call it just a bad luck mine, or would you consider it cursed? It certainly seems cursed based on the disasters and the paranormal activity, but that could just be a combination of just those two things coming together.
It depends what you class as like a curse, because if you go somewhere that's particularly like volatile in nature, like the environment is volatile, you can say that's cursed.
Because bad things are
Cursed by
happen.
nature, yeah.
Yeah. So you could just say bad things happen there.
This is why,
leads the
like,
workers to believe there's something foul
because
at play.
obviously, like, the human mind is so susceptible that, again, you try and like make reason out of anything. So you can like put it down to being cursed, or you could just. But then again, that is like a particularly like logical explanation.
Yeah.
Just be like, it could just be a volatile environment. Just how it is.
It's weird because I'd like to believe in the logical side and the supernatural side. Part of me thinks that surely, why would they all make up these ghost stories? Was the dark reed just playing with everyone's eyes? And then the superstitions, the birds and stuff, is that just their way of just trying to rationalize it to themselves, or finding a deeper meaning into it?
Because like gases and everything in there surely couldn't have kept you in a rational mind. It's almost like if you're
Lewis did say that about hallucinations.
Yeah, like if it's like being in a room full of paint and you're gonna lose your mind because of the fumes in there, and you're just like decorating walls and like you spill some paint.
So we're doing what we do in horror movies, where at the end they're like, it was all just a hallucination.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lewis?
That little cop out.
I think it must have been a horrible place to work,
Yeah.
and I think maybe there's a bit of, I don't feel like going to work in this horrible place today.
I've seen a squinty man.
Yeah, I've seen it. I think there might be a bit of that, but I do also think that they did generally think suspicions were real, if you know.
I know what you mean, yeah.
So with that, with the banshee screaming, was there an actual disaster, or was it just?
This was just there wasn't a disaster from it, but it caused a 3-day walkout.
Yeah.
But there was no disaster following it.
No, understandable.
So I'm going to give it the official Marvel's Mysteries and Midlanders cursed sticker of approval.
Is that a new thing?
It is now. Yeah!
Slap that bad boy on.
Cursed sticker. Well done, Morfa.
Mine's definitely cursed.
Mine definitely cursed, yeah. Yeah, I think on a basis, you can call it cursed, but I think there's a lot, if you think more into people's minds, like Lewis said, the environment, it could be a massive combination of things.
Do you believe that curses actually exist?
I think there are places that are just very, I don't know if it's energies or whatever, but there's places that have a bad vibe about them. Like, there's just bad stuff have happened there and it may have just tainted it. Like, because I've been to places where I've not been aware of the history of it. And I've gone there and I've had like almost a fight or flight response come over me. Like, something is not right.
Because you can like visit a new place or like start a new job or something and just have a bad vibe about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that could be like classed as a curse.
Yeah.
Be like, this is just cursed. Like, for like a particular person, it could be cursed, but for someone else, it could not.
But a basis of a curse, though, is like continuous bad things happening to one thing, family, place, if you know what I mean.
Do you think there's like inherent curses then, like maybe a family line?
But I do think it's possible for like the John Lantern curse we did in the Lantern Worm, because he didn't kill the first living thing he's seen. He then cursed his entire family, and the rest of his family just died not peacefully. But again, you could just turn around and be like, "Oh, that's not true," blah blah blah. But I do feel like there is curse in the traditional sense, maybe, but places that are just continuously unpleasant to be in. But I more believe it if I don't know about it beforehand. Like, if I'm going to a place that's cursed, I'm going to be like, "Oh yeah, it's cursed. It feels weird." Yeah, I mean, you're going to deliberately try.
Oh, you
and
get that like it's like implanted into you.
Yeah. You've already got the idea in your head that it's cursed. But if you go to a place and you're like, something's wrong, and then afterwards you maybe find out all this horrible stuff, you can be like, "Oh,
it's the same with like something being haunted. Like, you then are looking out for noises.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
must be a ghost. Must be.
But yeah, that is more for mine.
What is Amazon silk?
I don't know.
I feel like every episode something random happens, like your garlic alarm comes on.
Yeah, the garlic
Amazon silk.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention that banana and I realised it's a half moon now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But that is the pit of ghosts, the cursed mine of Morfa.
Mines were a scary place.
They were. What are your thoughts overall? Rate it? Don't rate it?
I mean, Poor fuckers that had to actually like imagine that being like the last resort of work as well.
I know, yeah.
Like you only have the mines to go to. That must have been like a death sentence.
Now it's working at Amazon. yeah.
Amazon Silk.
And now we're heading over to Lewis for his thing of the week.
Fred, you disgust me. You disgust everyone.
Hey, stop being so violent! Knock that off!
Some nerve, isn't it, this guy?
Yeah.
Introduce me, please, James.
Oh, yeah. You're not going to introduce me?
Well, that's me. With my what did you call it?
Thing of
Thing
the
of the
week.
week.
You've been doing it for nearly 20 episodes now and you still can't remember.
I can. I just said
It's
it.
facts from my website.
Right. What were you doing in 2007?
I was in year 10.
Was I doing it?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
You
all right.
were.
All right. Thanks, Dad.
Because I was also in year 10.
There you go. Adam would have been in year 8. Is that right?
I have no idea. I
You
can't
went
do
to
the
school in
maths.
2005, didn't you?
I graduated in 2010. I know that. So I was in year
What?
11.
In 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Adam would have been in year 8.
This particular guy in the fact was he was in a wheelchair in 2007.
Cool.
And this particular wheelchair was hit by a semi truck.
A truck.
Hit by a truck.
Yeah. So what happened then? The wheelchair handles got stuck in the grill of the truck. So this is America, so you've got like quite long bonnets, haven't you? So I'm guessing the driver didn't realise that this bloke had got wedged into the front of his truck.
There any
And,
sparks or
the
anything?
guy continued driving and was pushed over. The wheelchair was pushed at over 60 miles an hour to
Oh
several
my God.
miles on the highway. But amazingly, he escaped without injury.
I bet his wheels are a bit burnt. Was he like so? Was he facing forward the whole time?
I've got an actual picture. I'll send you the picture.
Oh my god. No way is there a picture.
I want to
He
know
looks so,
how
like-
he doesn't look happy, does he?
He looks so inconvened by
does.
this situation. Like,
Can't
fuck,
believe I got
you know.
pushed 60 miles away. Oh my god.
So how did he end up though in that position? Was he just in the road going forward?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Because
maybe it's crossing the road or something. And
why was he crossing the road forward with the traffic?
God knows.
He could have spun out.
Oh my god! I mean,
This is number
Oh,
12,129
yeah,
as well.
WTF. Lewis has got deep into the archives at this point.
Yes.
But imagine though, you know what though? Like, it'd probably be quite cool at the same time, like going 60 miles per hour. It'd be like it being on a roller coaster.
Yeah, but imagine that one thing, that like little bump in the road that just causes you to go
Straight
like
up the
going
tire.
straight through a blender.
It would be.
Jesus.
Do you think he was
How do you think they got him out? Do you think they just yanked him out?
like when do you think he got stopped? Because if he was going up like the
Yeah, when do you think they realised?
well, he couldn't. If on the highway, you don't really stop, do you?
No.
So you're just going up the highway. Just like, do you think he just at one point just accepted it, just sat there like,
Yeah.
It does say for several miles.
yeah. He does look inconvenienced though.
Yeah. He looks pissed
Do you
off.
think he was putting his arms up, trying to wave to the
Oh, yeah.
driver?
Absolutely, yeah. But those semi trucks are so tall, he wouldn't have had a chance.
Imagine
No.
if like the wheels on his chair just completely like burn out.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Because
Like,
it's the small ones as well. They're not like the big boys.
like trolley tire.
Yeah.
They go, keep
like
spinning.
the fucking carriage tires.
yeah.
Those are small boys.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Literal
What a ride.
burning rubber.
Lewis, that's an incredible thing of the week. Thank you so much.
No problem.
No problem.
Right then. Well, with that incredible experience and the cursed mind of Morpher, that is the end of this episode. Buenos dias, everybody. This is James here. Just wanted to quickly let you know that on this episode, we've actually been involved in a promo swap of sorts with the podcast Your Spooky Neighbors, run by two lovely American ladies called Gracie and Stephanie. Now, on their podcast, they speak about all things weird. You love it. You know you love it. But on their episode that's just come out called Lavender Town Syndrome, which is this strange phenomena that spawned from a Pokemon game, believe it or not, we've got our little promo at the end of their episode, and to be kind gentlemen and return the favour, their promo is at the end of our episode. So here we are. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because let's just hear it from their mouths. Everyone, get ready to meet your spooky neighbours.
Do you like deep dives leading into the dark and uncharted parts of our world?
Are you interested in exploring nefarious cases, both criminal and paranormal?
Do you like mingling with spirits?
Then you'll enjoy cracking a cold one with your spooky neighbors.
We're your hosts, Stephanie
and Gracie.
Every Tuesday, we talk about the terrors in the real world and beyond.
From the creatures and cryptids lurking in the shadows, to urban legends, strange and unexplainable phenomena, to macabre murders, paranormal activities, and a whole lot more.
I tell you that you can listen to Your Spooky Neighbors wherever you listen to podcasts, but you're already here.
Now sit back, try to relax while we tell you a story.
There are so many dark corners for you to explore. Some of them might be found right in your own neighborhood.
Episode 20. We've made it this far.
20th.
Episode 20. I know I just realised that at the end of the episode, but hey, here we are. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed it. And until next week, we've got a lot of things for you to look forward to in the month of October, in the fantastic month of Halloween. It's going to be a good one. And also, if you've got any strange stories of the unexplained, ghost stories, just generally very weird stuff, and you'd like us to read out your stories on our episode in October about eyewitness accounts, do send your accounts to marvels.mysteries@gmail.com. That's marvels.mysteries@gmail.com. And also you can follow us on Instagram at MMMidlanders or at MMMidlanders. So there's that. So thank you so much, guys, for listening. Have a great week, and we'll speak to you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I copied you there.
Bye.
What a beautiful boy.
Look at those
Oh.
guns.